don't need much for tools. You need, well, a small trowel would be nice, but you can use an old spoon. You know?
That's a good idea, I like that one. Yeah.
You can use an old spoon, you can use an old fork, you know, salad tongs. Because you want to keep your soil not compacted. And when you want to plant something, you can just take your finger and make the little trench for your seeds. So, you know, you don't need special tools. You don't need much money, which is the way to do things. All right, that's about all I had. Is there anything you wanted to add or amend?
No, I think that sounds like a good starting place. How about you all? What are you checking in with you guys? Has anything come up? Do you have any particular questions based on your own personal motivations for coming tonight? Are you imagining spaces in your home that you would put a container that you would like to talk about, and we can kind of get into the specifics of what your space might look like? Are you totally overwhelmed? If you're hungry, is your blood sugar dropping? Because we have popcorn. And we also have water. So if anybody wants some popcorn, raise your hand, I'll bring you some. But in addition to that, yeah. Does anybody have? Yes, Erin.
Are there any types of vessels that are not good for container gardening?
I would say I wouldn't plant anything in glass because it doesn't have drainage. It has to have something with a hole in the bottom that the water can flow through. So but plastic pots, clay pots, old dish pans, almost anything.
Oh, is that where
But
you
it's
found
porous.
it? But it's porous, okay.
Right.
That's a good, okay, right,
Yeah.
so these don't have holes, but should anybody want to pick up these, it's because it's fabric, the water will just,
But the dirt won't go out.
the dirt won't go out, but the water will.
Yes.
Okay, that's
So
good.
yes, this is not appropriate for inside the home.
No,
And
no.
I had
Right.
another question about that. I was in my mind, black is good because it absorbs heat, and I sort of had, in my mind, that's a good thing. But does it really matter for a container to be
Not
dark?
a whole lot.
Or,
Not
okay.
a whole lot. I mean, that will absorb the heat, but it will also dry out really fast.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
so more watering.
And I don't know how much that has to do with color, frankly.
No, I don't either.
And by the time, August rolls around, if you've got a tomato in there, for instance, or a squash, half of it's gonna be covered by foliage anyway. Yeah. So.
I do indoor plants, and one of the things that was recommended to me was taking the inside of a clean diaper and getting the beads really wet and putting it in with the soil, and it helps maintain water for the soil. Would that work for outdoor gardening?
That's not
Mixed,
very,
has mixed reviews.
Yes, at best, yeah.
It works
I
for my
actually-
indoor plants,
No,
but I
I
don't know.
actually just, I need to read a little more on, oh, yeah. Right. So the question was about basically water holding crystals.
Yes.
And I had not heard about using a diaper, because it is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mixed results,
Okay.
especially out in the garden.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is those are microplastics essentially.
And it doesn't
So
decompose.
it doesn't, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, but it doesn't decompose.
So just be on top of the water.
So, yeah,
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 yeah. You had a
Also,
question?
I just wondered, how many things would you think about planting in one of those black pans?
It depends. If I'm growing carrots, I can grow a lot of carrots in that, because carrots only need to be about this far apart. And I could grow a lot of lettuce. I could grow maybe 2 tomatoes if they're draped over the sides. But, green beans, probably 8 plants. So
If that's all you were planting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But you can tuck things around the edges, you know, like lettuces and little onions that grow up through things.
And then if you write radishes, yeah, things that have that are quick to mature, yeah, you can have probably at least 2 crops of radishes, I would guess.
Yes.
How often do you have to fertilize?
Well, the soil we're getting is pretty fertile to begin with. When I transplant things, I often, it's not organic, but I do use some Miracle-Gro when I start things. Some people don't, but I don't know if we're using.
I don't know if we're getting organic seedlings or not. Probably organic seedlings. But yeah, that's definitely the like, when do I fertilize is I mean, the usual answer is gonna be it depends. It's always it depends. Because there's always multiple factors.
Is that when you would look at the health of the plant?
Exactly,
Like what,
yeah.
like, would you look at like coloring of the
Yeah,
leaves
yeah.
maybe, or, I don't know.
Yeah, nutritional deficiencies will
Nutritional
often show up. Will
If
show
it's
up in
spindly
the-
and yellow,
in the
you know, it's not
foliage.
healthy. It needs to be fed.
Right.
But
But sometimes that could be because it's, you know, not getting enough light. I mean, there are, so there's overwatering too. Yes. Which for houseplants is deadly, which anybody who keeps houseplants.
So that's my lily. Always thirsty.
Yeah.
So is there a kind of organic fertilizer that would be appropriate?
I use fish emulsion.
Yeah.
Fish emulsion is what I use, yeah, yeah. And I expect, well, probably that's, we haven't worked out everything we're gonna be using, but that's what I generally use, like,
In your
Where do you get that?
I get it at Bob's. It's Neptune's Harvest is the brand that I use.
A watering question. Okay, I live in town. It's got the chlorine in the water. Is that okay just to water your plants with the treated water, or should you let it sit around?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Should you let the chlorine?
Let it sit for a day?
I know that my father also lives in town, and he will aerate his water. We've certainly aerated our water at the office.
I do before I drink it. So I'm
Right,
wondering.
right. I
Right.
mean, and we're a little bit like plants, so
You do it for fish.
do it for fish. Yeah. Why not treat your plants like you would yourself?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know is the short
Yeah.
answer.
That's a good answer.
I could look it up. That's the other part of the answer.
Yeah, I go out to the lake and bring a couple of buckets home.
Throw a bucket over to the river, Eric.
We do catch rainwater in 5-gallon pails
Yep.
under the roof, so you can do that.
Yes, absolutely. Water catchment hasn't been made illegal here yet.
Oh, it hasn't?
Not as far as I
I thought
know.
it was legal.
No, legal. It is legal.
It is legal.
Yeah, no, I thought it
has-
was illegal everywhere.
Water catchment,
Capturing rainwater.
not here.
I
Not
watched
illegal
on
here.
Facebook.
Well.
Sit around.
It's gotta be
Internet,
true
It's gotta be
then.
true.
You do have to watch for, don't let it sit around for a long time.
Oh,
because of
right,
mosquitoes
yeah.
and other stuff.
Yeah, I have a rain barrel that has a cover on it, so, off my gutters. So, you know, and it fills up with one rainstorm. Yeah.
Now, I've seen on a lot of plants and stuff, mealworms. And I've always been told to put a rusty nail in the dirt by the plant to keep them away. Is that true?
You're asking questions I don't know answers to.
Like you're supposed to?
I've never heard of that. What? I'm a master gardener, I'm supposed to know everything, right? I don't know much. Yeah. I took the class.
I have not heard that one
I
either.
have not.
Nope. I've heard that from an old farmer tell me that. Put it next to your peppers, tomatoes, and so forth.
For what?
Mealworms.
Mealworms? Didn't even know mealworms were a problem with those crops. So,
Well, it kept them away then.
I guess it did, I guess it did. Yeah,
That's why this is a learning series.
Yeah.
Because it's all about sharing information. Yeah.
So anything else you'd like to hit us with that we don't know the answer to? Wow. Oh, come on.
So it's stumping question.
Stump the gardener.
I have a question for you all. Does anybody think that they will be directly seeding trying their hand at direct seeding? Or when I say direct seeding, does anybody know what I mean?
Putting seeds in the ground?
Right.
Yeah.
Versus growing a seedling. Do you think you might be direct? You always do. Okay. Okay. Do you think you might be direct seeding?
Right in my flower bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because some folks like to work with a seedling first. But I'm glad to see you all ambitious about that. And because one thing I've been wondering with direct seeding versus utilizing seedling, one question I have is, do you have to do anything different to your soil for direct seedling that you would for transplanting in a container? No? Oh, okay. So you can keep everything the same, the basic.
So really, the different, like direct seed versus seedling is really more about what the plant requires. Like some plants just need a longer season and you have to start them earlier. Some plants don't like to be transplanted. So if you're using them as a seedling, you've got to do it while they're still quite young, like cucumbers don't like transplanting very much, so.
How many cucumbers do you get in one of those?
I would say maybe, well,
3 or 4.
yeah, maybe 3, if that's all you were planting.
Could you do like 1 cucumber, 1 tomato, 1 basil?
Yeah.
Without
Yep.
being too
Yep.
crowded?
No?
Yep, I think that would be easily, that would fit for sure. Yep. Yep, tomato, cucumber.
That's a salad right there.
Right.
You got all of your
Yeah.
salad making.
And then when you go to the store and you buy green onions, just stick the little ends in the ground.
I grow mine on my windowsill.
There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Medicinal gardening.
Yeah, so, you know, if you are more or less successful this summer, so it'll be something you may want to expand upon next year. And if you have any ground around your house or your apartment or whatever, they might allow you to, you know, have a little patch where you can grow something in the actual ground and not just in a container. Although containers are great, but you can, if you have a little more space, you can grow a little more. But this is, I think, in my mind, this is an encouragement to get out there and do some gardening, whether it's in containers or in the ground. So it's all.
What about raised beds?
I think there was a question. Oh, okay, go for it. Raised bed, sorry, go ahead. That's right.
I have raised beds because I live on a hill.
Does it work better for you? You don't have to get on the ground, 'cause that's hard for me.
Yeah, they aren't raised very high, but except on one side, the downhill side. Yeah, they're great, and they also will dry out quicker than the regular flat garden. But you know, and you can build a raised bed we built ours out of cedar trees. Just screw them together and then fill them with soil.
And you could put something like this on a table, right?
A table
Yeah,
you don't
that's
care
what I
about.
Something
thought,
that's-
yeah.
Hmm?
A table you don't care about.
Right.
It's gonna get wet.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, just if you don't wanna have to go
You have
get
to really-
down.
yeah.
put-
Or on a pallet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right, I think that's a good point. We had talked about also, like, how would one construct a dolly, right? If you have to, like, move your container around based on the amount of sunlight that you may or may not get in your home, you could put this on a dolly with a string and move it, or a table.
A string?
Well, yes, you
Be
have
a
to pull
rope.
the dolly.
Right.
You have to pull your plant, you know. Anyway, that's,
It's like a little wagon, you know, like, come on. A wagon would actually
or a
probably
little
work.
red wagon.
Would be a
There we
great-
go, yeah.
But yeah, I like that idea, Erin, about putting something up, like, yeah, like an old chair or something, just to get it up a little bit higher. It's a really good idea.
Right, it's one of the benefits of the thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now, do you just put it on the ground?
You can.
Can
Yes.
Even on the grass?
Well, it'll kill that spot of grass,
Uh-huh.
but yes.
Okay.
I mean,
But there's enough drainage so that it.
oh yeah, it's the water will go right through it, and the air can get in. Roots need air too, so I think.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about.
Yeah. That's what these are made for.
I have a fairly large leach field. How far away do I have to plant? Because I know I can't plant on the leach field.
Well, you're gonna be in a container.
Right, I'm just talking about general stuff though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't,
Do I have to
the
be
reason
like
you don't wanna
3
plant
feet
into a leach
apart?
field is because of the
Exactly.
roots.
But how many feet do I have to be away from the leach field?
I'd be uphill from it. I mean, if you could plunk a container right on top of the leach field.
Right.
If
No,
you're
I'm
in a
just talking about like a
container.
general garden, you know.
Right, yeah, don't plant it, I don't know how far, I don't know
How
that
far?
answer. I just know not on top.
Right, right, yeah.
You don't wanna plant anything on top except grass.
Right. Weeds.
Well, I mow mine. Yeah, nothing would be roots. Oh, it's wood, so the root thing, that is something to consider when you're choosing containers. If you're not in the garden in a box group and you're just gonna use containers you have around, is to keep in mind how much root space your plant is gonna need. So if you're growing carrots, for instance, you wanna grow the little thumb, I think Tom Thumb, or there are varieties that are just like the little ball carrots. Because a long carrot will take a lot of soil.
Even their little their taproot goes way, way down. So you can grow those little ball carrots in, say, like a 6-inch, a little window box that's this tall. But if you wanted that like a regular carrot, you need to grow in a deeper, a deeper container.
Well, would a decent sized carrot, is that gonna be big enough for 'em?
I think maybe a short, like some of the shorter varieties, like maybe like a Chantenay or something like that would be all right. But like, you know, those like Nancy types that are like, yeah, like the we won't be, no daikon, no.
So do you think a root would manage to bust through that?
I don't know, I wondered that too.
Probably
We'll
not the
soon
first
find
year.
out.
Yeah, yeah, because I know, I was thinking in a container, like something hard, firm, that you have holes in it, you know, if you're not
They'll-
careful, the roots will go through, and then you try to move it, and you're like, oh, it's stuck.
They come out the
It's-
drainage holes, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I was also wondering about, whether, it'll be interesting to see whether we can get little, for lack of a better word, little stakes in there. Because
Yeah, or
I-
trellis, some kind of a trellis type
Yeah,
thing.
because I remember seeing these up in Greenville at the little taco place.
Yeah.
And they had their tomatillos in there and things, and they were staked. They weren't draping over and
Right.
falling over, but they had,
And you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to buy stakes either. You could go
Sticks.
get a branch.
right, yeah.
A branch from a tree.
Yeah.
That's, you know, and stick that in there. Well, before the plant gets real big.
Well, I mean, and it depends again on what the plant is, because like with a cherry tomato, for instance, like
They wouldn't care.
doesn't matter. One of those tomato cages is like, okay.
Yeah.
What about peas, Trisha? Like a snap
Like I was
peas
thinking
or
about that too,
something?
which
Can
would
you-
probably, I mean, there are bush varieties which we might wanna concentrate on rather than, but, yeah, I thought about that too, as far as like a trellis of some kind, if we were,
So plants
Like
that,
snap peas.
snap peas,
yeah.
okay.
But
So-
there are bush varieties also that aren't, that are bred to, you know,
Stay in
as
one
a bush
shape
instead of
versus
growing up.
traveling, right? We want the container with a trellis is good for localized, like tomato varieties or bush snap pea varieties that will
Stay put.
stay put. But couldn't you, but I guess I'm confused about what you were suggesting about not using a trellis. Why wouldn't we want to, or a tomato cage? Why
Oh,
wouldn't we want to
I'm just
use?
saying, you can use a tomato cage, it's
Right.
just not very effective.
Oh, because it
the
will tip
tomato,
over.
because the plant's so huge, that's all.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, you can use one.
Okay.
And actually, probably a tomato cage would work pretty well for peas to grow on,
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Okay.
I would think. Probably be better for peas than tomatoes. really.
Right, so if you plant tomatoes with a tomato cage, just have a wall close by or something, or like
Yeah.
extra
I mean, or just let it,
scaffolding.
just let it grow out onto the ground.
Or
It's
let,
just-
okay,
yeah,
okay.
It'll just be a big old crazy vine.
Right, right.
They're fun, they're just unruly.
Yeah.
What about keeping the neighbor's cat out of your?
Oh, that's an excellent question. That's a good,
Phoebe got, no.
I have put,
Just
I
kidding.
have put
Not,
chicken wire over my bed in front of the house, and that kept the deer out of my hostel, because, but piece of chicken wire, and the stuff would just grow.
so shape it in a dome.
just kinda like,
Well, it wouldn't even have to, just lay it out.
just something to keep the, just so it's prickly on there.
And it's, it doesn't hurt them.
Are there plants that you could, or little herbs or something that cats don't like,
Not that I know
that
of.
you could like? Yeah, that's true. They really, yeah.
Yeah, I like to chew on most anything.
They like to dig in the dirt.
I have 5 feral cats.
But yeah, I think probably, yeah, a piece of chicken wire would be the easiest solution. Cause they're really only interested in, mostly are interested in digging up the soil, they're not really interested in chewing on the plant. So once the plant is big enough, they're not gonna try to dig it. Theoretically. No guarantee.
Not with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they probably would not bother with something like that, especially if it was on your porch or, steps or whatever.
What was the question? Or what did she say?
Skunks
Oh,
are
skunks.
more burrowing and they're carnivorous, so.
They're
Well, I
looking,
have one of those too.
they're looking for grubs. So, if you've got grubs in your lawn, you'll have Japanese beetles in the fall.
Let those skunks be, just don't go near.
What's the fun?
Deer.
Oh, sorry, Eric.
Deer is a problem,
Yep,
our approach.
yep.
They are a problem.
Yep, they are.
Last night driving home up on North Street, 12 deer right there in the, yeah, because people eat them.
You
Yeah,
had limited success with dryer sheets?
I think anything I've used has only been limited success.
Limited.
And hosta is a garden vegetable for deer,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they eat it right down to the nut.
People can eat it too.
Someone had told me to take Irish Spring and grate it, so I went and went to Dollar Tree, they had Irish Spring up there, and I bought a $1 grater, do that, and then I spread it all over my hosta, because the year before, they ate it right down, but this time here, they stayed away for that. I mean, every time it rained, I
Right.
had to go out and